Welcome back, everyone, to High School Football 2025 from Whirlwind Stadium on the campus of West Muskingum High School. Howard Twiggs, Coach Doug Clifford, so glad to be with you to start another season. And Doug, it's Thursday, not Friday.
Well, you know, I played golf today, and I thought, I got a game tonight. But it's Thursday, but whatever. It's the start of the season, and I can't wait to get it going.
Well, absolutely. This is a rematch from last year. The Lakewood Lancers come in here to West Muskingum. Last year at Lakewood, Coach, 42-0 for West Muskingum, victorious on the way to an excellent 8-4 season. Lakewood last year just 1-9 on the campaign, and they only dressed 27 players for this game. So there's a size and talent difference here tonight.
Well, there is. You know, West Muskingum only has 4 returning players with significant playing time from last year, but it looked to me like Lakewood's kids are wearing size 26 pants and West M's wearing 44s. That's never a good sign.
The Tornadoes last year 8-4 on the season, including 2-1 in the playoffs, where they eventually lost to Wheelersburg 30-14. West has made 3 straight trips to the playoffs, and you can bet Coach Brownrigg really wants to make it 4. West did lose 3 key players, Coach. Jake Anton, Coleman Lloyd, and Carter Winland were really the nuts and bolts of this team. They will be missed, but they've got guys who can replace them.
Well, you know, I was talking to Coach Brownrigg before the game when we were talking about his inexperienced players, and we both agreed that there's something really special about a kid who's been waiting his turn to play. When they hit that field as a junior or a senior for the first time, they're pumped. They can't wait to show what they have. So I think that's what we'll see from the Tornadoes.
There is an excellent returning cast despite some youth in certain parts of the team. Carter Smith is an excellent receiver along with Tavin Bennett. Braxton Brownrigg, Coach, was a wide receiver last year. However, as a senior, they've moved him to the quarterback spot. From your experiences, does that speak of just the experience that they have with a senior?
Well, I think you put your best available athlete at quarterback when you're going to have a senior quarterback for the first time. We did that one year when I was at Crooksville. We had a kid named Jeremy Watson, and he took us to the playoffs. So I think Braxton will be all right. It's just you're not going to be able to do as many things as they've done in the past, but find out what he does well and concentrate on that.
Zanesville transfer David Evans is expected to carry the load on the ground for the Tornadoes, and they've got a big offensive line, Coach, something that this young man's probably not used to. We could see him go off.
Well, you know, I talked to a guy who saw Lakewood scrimmage Fairfield Union, and he told me their defense was not very strong. So if West comes out with a strong running attack and with a big back, it could be bad news for the Lancers.
Defensively, the Tornadoes expected to be led by Carter Smith, Tavin Bennett, but also they expect Cooper McKenzie and Ashton Ansel, a couple of other real key players to bolster their defense, which is, again, just a little bit inexperienced in certain spots.
Well, you hope your defense can carry you early in the season, and your offense catches up.
For West Muskingum, it's important to get a win, Coach. As you well know, it's important any week, especially the first week. But as you and I talked before the game, this West Muskingum schedule is a juggernaut.
Oh, my.
They have tonight Fort Fry next week here. We'll talk about those guys in a second. And then road games at New Lex and John Glenn. But just briefly about Fort Fry, it is a storied program in southeastern Ohio. They run that wing T offense from Little League on up, and that'll be a tough test for the Tornadoes. They need to have a good showing tonight.
Well, one of my former assistant coaches, Chad Ross, was on the staff at Fort Fry, and he describes Fort Fry as the kids are like the kids at Crooksville back in the heyday of Crooksville football. He said they love it. It's important to the community. He said, and they play the game the way it should be played.
Tonight, we expect weather conditions to be not as hot as it's been. But, Coach, with only 27 dressing players for Lakewood and the depth that the Tornadoes have, how important is it for Lakewood to try and mount something quickly to get a little bit of confidence?
Well, I don't care how much the sky clears up tonight, Howard. I think the Lancers are going to run into a storm called the Tornadoes. And I think it's going to be a very, very difficult night if West gets off to a good start and they don't have a lot of jittery mistakes that a young team has. I think they'll dominate the first half and coast the rest of the way.
Coach Brownrigg's comments will be coming up in just a minute or two, but we did have some thoughts from him earlier in the season, and he did indicate that there's a lot of skill on this team, but a lot of inexperience, and this will be a great test against Lakewood to find out where they're at and where they need to be. Also, Coach Brownrigg talked about leaders on and off the field. He mentioned Carter Smith, Tavin Bennett, Braxton Brownrigg, the newcomer David Evans, and Preston Farrell. How important, Coach, are those guys to show the younger guys in Game 1 what it's all about?
Well, that's what we talked about in the pregame. You think you know who your leaders are, but your leaders emerge between the white lines, and we'll see who steps up. And Coach Brownrigg's anxious to find out who those leaders are going to be.
Coach Brownrigg also mentioned a couple of breakout players that he thought in preseason camp showed a lot of potential, and they will be getting some playing time. They are Caden Love along the offensive-defensive line, Cohen McConnell, and a sophomore by the name of Amari Harris, who will play on defense tonight. But Coach Brownrigg also said, hey, this is a guy down the road that is going to be on offense, either tight end or wide receiver, because he's so athletic. So West Muskingum, not exactly bare in the cupboard, Coach, but so many unknowns as we enter Game 1.
Well, they have a lot of new starters, but Coach Brownrigg told me he really likes the kids on his team. He likes the makeup of the team, likes the way they're playing. This is a good game for them to get some timing in, because they're going to have some tough games coming up right away.
One of the guys we haven't mentioned yet is the kicker for West Muskingum, Silas Kuhn. This guy's got a big leg, and not necessarily in this game, but down the road, he could be a huge factor for their Tornadoes. So Silas Kuhn, a name to remember. Briefly touching back on Lakewood, Coach. 3 wins in the last 4 years for Coach Tyler Brown. Last year, offensively, they got 12 points a game. They gave up 47 a game. How do you build when you don't have a lot to build with?
Well, first you have to have a head coach who stays, and you don't build a program in a year. So he has a lot of work ahead of him in the next 2 or 3 years if he stays there as head coach. Hopefully the community will give him a chance to do that and, establish his program and off-season program and get kids out for football. And like you said, there's 27 kids on the roster. That's tough.
For the Tornadoes, expectations are always, and you know this, Coach, always a very slippery slope. Expectations are, yeah, we've been there, we can stay there, but it's not that easy for West, to stay in the playoff hunt 4 straight years. You don't have the value of bringing in too many guys. You can bring in some here and there, but you basically have a cast that you're dealt with.
Well, it'll be I'm anxious to see how they do this year with all the new starters, a little bit of inexperience on their squad, but they've built a tradition. And when I was talking to Nate Brownrigg before the game, West Muskingum is right where Lakewood is right now. They were there not too many years ago. I remember doing a game here, and the 2 starting inside linebackers were freshmen that weighed 130 pounds apiece. So every coach, you stay long enough, you've been in that position. So it's just a matter of time. The Lakewood coach has to stay, has to get the kids to come out for football, establish a weight program in the off season, and get the kids to come out.
Okay, we are at Whirlwind Stadium, where tonight it is Lakewood against West Muskingum. And we will go to Coach Brownrigg's thoughts. When we come back, we'll have more pregame. So stay with us. You are listening and watching South 60 Films, the home of high school football in the MVL. We'll be right back.
I think this season gets remembered as as being like a bridge. All right, and what I mean by that is we knew when we took over. This is now year 6. We knew that group, Rashid's group, our first 4-year group was a pretty special group, and then last year's group was a special group. This is a group that over the years expectations haven't been super high for, as far as thinking about Biddy League and middle school. But our expectations aren't going to change. Our goals aren't going to change. Our goal is to still compete for and win the small school MVL championship, and then get ourselves in the playoffs and make a run. But we know to do that, we're going to have to go from where we are now and continue to get better each week. I expect it's kind of hard because this is now their 3rd coach in 3 years. This is our 6th year here, and this is their 4th coach since we've been here. I expect them to, they appear anyway that they're trying to find themselves, trying to find their identity. In the 2 scrimmages, it looks like they want to try to establish a run game and then pick up some play action pass and stuff after that. In reality, I'm expecting them to come out and play hard. I expect them to come out and compete. And our focus this week, though, all week and then into the game is really just about where we are, how we prepare. That we're doing things the right way and going into the game, and regardless of who the opponent is, our approach is always the same.
Well, we welcome you back, everyone. Howard Twiggs and Coach Doug Clifford, glad to be a part of the opener here on a Thursday evening. Lakewood won the toss. They deferred, so West Muskingum will get the football to begin. Officials tonight are Doug Murphy, Rick Carpenter, Bruce Parrish, Ricky Atkins, Scott Welker, and Ron Blake. West Muskingum will be going left to right. They will have the blue tops with the white pants, blue helmets, and gold numerals along the way. Lakewood will be in the white uniforms with red and black trim. And offensively,
Howard,
for the
that
Tornadoes,
is an absolute epidemic of referees.
They will receive the opening
everywhere.
kickoff. It will be Carter Smith back deep, and he will be joined by David Evans. So a couple of speedsters starting off for the Tornadoes. And we are set to begin the regular season here, high school football 2025 from South 60.
I can't hear you.
And we are waiting for the kick, and here we go. It will be a short kick, picked up on the bounce by Smith, fumbles the football, gets a nice bounce to get it back, cuts to his right, cuts to the sideline, up to the 20, 25, 30, 35, still on his feet, one man to beat.
I think he's gone.
He is going to go the distance. That is Carter Smith for the opening touchdown of the season. How about that, Coach?
That's outstanding. Usually when a kick goes like that and it bounces past your return man, a kickoff team, they live for that kind of stuff. And Carter Smith absolutely ran away from everybody.
Wow. Yeah. Once he had himself positioned to make that inside one-step cut to the left, he was gone. All he had to beat was the kicker, and that was a mismatch, Doug.
Oh, my. I mean, that was over 95 yards on that return.
Yeah, we are officially going to give it 98 yards. Silas Kuhn, the aforementioned excellent kicker for the Tornadoes, will attempt the extra point. Snap on the way, hold, kick up, and sails through. So 11:43 to go in the opening quarter. What Lakewood didn't want, Coach, it is 7-0 Tornadoes, and you couldn't ask for a better start for West.
No, there's no better start than that. I think Silas Kuhn is in his 7th year of eligibility here. He's been kicking here forever.
I saw him with his kids earlier in the game. They were playing toss, so yeah, I think you're right.
I think he, when he first started kicking, I don't think he weighed as much as his helmet. But I talked to him before the game too, and he seems to be as good a young man as he is a kicker.
Good deal. All right, so West Muskingum will kick off. For Lakewood, back deep will be Luca Vines, and he will be joined by Marshawn Young. Kicking off for the Tornadoes will be Kuhn. 7-0 in favor of West Muskingum. They took the opening kick. Carter Smith goes 98 yards, and West Muskingum leads 7-0.
Yeah, I wonder about that. They had 6 guys on the front line, 24 lined up incorrectly. Coach has him moving out to the wing.
Kick on the
nice
way.
kick.
It's a good one. That's going to go into the end zone. That will be a touchback. Hey, briefly, Coach, we want to talk about one of the new rule changes on a fumble in high school football. If the ball is fumbled forward out of bounds, it goes back to the original line of scrimmage. That is a new rule put into high school football.
I'll be darned.
Not a big change, but nevertheless a change. Defensively for the Tornadoes, they look this way. Amari Harris, Ashton Ansel, Dom Stevenson, Caden Love along the defensive front. Carter Smith, Cooper McKenzie, the linebackers. Secondary, Braxton Brownrigg, David Evans, Tavin Bennett, Cohen McConnell, and Taven Haynes. First carry is going nowhere for the Lancers. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage for Lakewood.
It didn't get any further than that.
That is Jalen White on the carry. Give him no gain. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Make it 2nd down and 10 for Lakewood. 2 wide receivers. Up back and White the tailback. Under center is Hardway. And he will roll out to his right, be under pressure, scrambles around, and thrown down, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Not fooled that time were the Tornadoes. Excellent job, Coach, staying home along that defensive line secondary.
Well, the right side of the line had contained. The quarterback couldn't roll out. They cut him off. He scrambled back to his left. It won't go as a sack because he gained a yard. But it's a great play by the defense.
3rd down and 10 for Lakewood. They officially give Hardway 1 yard on the scramble. So 3rd down and 9. In the shotgun is Hardway. He'll look, got a man in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, White, and that will bring up a punting situation for Lakewood.
Well, Garrett Hardway, the quarterback, had that right on the money.
Yeah, just off the hands.
Receiver turned and
White
hit him right in the hands. It should have been a catch, should have been a first down. Well, now we'll see another phase of the kicking game. See how this one goes. I know their extra point snapper looked like his snaps had hang time in pregame. I'm anxious to see this punt snap.
David Evans will set up.
They don't have enough guys on the field.
At his own 45. They may get delay of game. Man, let's see if they get it off. So Evans at about his 45-yard line. Yep, delay of game. That will cost Lakewood 5 yards. No, illegal substitution. Well, they lined up and a guy came in late.
Well, 2 guys came in late. Now number 13 is going off the field. That's Cam Shaw. Okay.
Yeah,
that's what the punter in a huddle is supposed to count the players.
Right.
And if he doesn't come up with 10, then he has to wave to the coach.
Plus, I think in the first game of the year, your punt team should be ready. Short punt.
Look out.
That's going to be a 4-hopper picked up by Evans at the 45. And a penalty flag flies. I think that's going to cost West an illegal block. Otherwise, they'd be in great field position. 12-yard punt return for Evans.
Yeah. The up man almost could have caught that ball.
And officials sort things out. Let's see what they're going to say.
Block in the back.
And that will cost the Tornadoes 15 yards, and that's going to put them right around midfield. Not a very good punt, just 27 yards.
Well, you have to tell your special teams kids, if you have a clean shot, make the block. But if you don't have a clean shot, don't make any contact.
Offensively for the Tornadoes tonight, Braxton Brownrigg at quarterback, David Evans running back. The tight ends are Ashton Ansel and Cooper McKenzie. Wide receivers Tavin Bennett, Carter Smith. Offensive line, Carson Lewis, Preston Farrell, Dom Stevenson, Eli Walton, and Eli Foster. Boy, that's a big penalty from the spot, Coach. That almost 30 yards by the time you get it all sorted. That's going to be a pitch to Smith. He is stopped from behind, breaks a tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Nice job defensively by Lakewood that time.
Outstanding job by the defense that time. West is going to have to play. That opening round kickoff to start the game, that's like fool's gold. You think, well, if it's going to be this easy everywhere, offense has to generate, they have to stay on their blocks.
Carter Smith now in the backfield.
3-4 defense.
Shotgun for Brownrigg. Fumble, but picked up on the fly and gaining a couple of yards for the Tornadoes is Amari Harris, who we talked about in the pregame.
Well, the Lancers didn't look very good on offense. Their special teams don't look very good, but their defense has come to play.
Not bad. A couple of nice stops, make it 3rd down and 7. Passing situation for Braxton Brownrigg. He has Carter Smith and Tavin Bennett as his outside receivers. 2 tight end set. Evans in the backfield, lone back. And that's going to be a rollout by Bragg. Looks got a man short. Going to be short of the first down. Completed pass to Ashton Ansel. No, I'm sorry on that. Make it a catch by Cooper McKenzie. So 4th down. Let's see what West is going to do, Coach. It's early. Why not, right?
4th down.
I
don't see a punter out there.
Well, West going to go for it. So
well, they haven't had a clean exchange on any play yet.
Yeah. 4th down for the Tornadoes. Looks like they are going to go for it, and they do. Bragg will go straight ahead to Smith, and he gets the first down. Gain of 4 that time for Carter Smith. Make it 1st down and 10 for the Tornadoes. 7:52 to go here in the first quarter. West Muskingum and Lakewood on South 60 Films, where we bring the action.
I like that call, Howard. They ran sideways on the first play, and then they tried a little rollout pass. You're playing a team that's not supposed to be very good. Go right at them. Find them. See who's the most physical team.
Brownrigg stays in the shotgun. Again, handoff to Smith. Breaks the tackle, loses the ball, and that is going to be recovered by Lakewood. Turnover. Well, Doug, you touched on in the first series. Lakewood defense, not bad. And
no, it's not. It's playing well. We have a flag on the play on the far side. And way the guys for the Lakewood's acting. The call must be on.
That's going to be a hold on
Tornadoes.
West. That'll be declined. So that will bring up Lakewood with the 1st and 10. Great field position. And they will have it.
Well,
their own 47.
West End looks like the better team, and they look like an inexperienced team. Offensively, they haven't gelled at all. Have poor handoffs. They've had a fumble. The receiver on the 1st down attempt didn't get enough yardage. So those are all mistakes that an inexperienced team makes in their first outing.
1st and 10 for Lakewood, their own 47 after the turnover. They will throw the ball. Hard way on that bubble screen.
Lateral, sure
double
was.
Pass.
He's open.
Got a man, got a reception, and it is completed
Did he catch
to
it?
the 30-yard line. Yes, sir, he did. That pass completed by Adam Bebout, a quarterback,
Nice call.
second-team freshman.
You know, I was just getting ready to say if that kid drops the ball on the first pass, I said, that looks like a lateral. I didn't get a chance to say it. He already had the ball in the air. Nice call, nice play. Caught the Tornadoes sleeping.
23-yard completion. 1st and 10 for Lakewood at the West Muskingum 30-yard line. And they will go to the right side and stacked up. Not much running room for Jalen White.
Brought down by Ansel and Stevenson.
Jalen White has his second carry, 2 carries, 2 yards, so make it 2nd down and 8. But coming back to that pass by Bebout, it was a great route and a completed pass to Clint Chenault. West Muskingum looks like coaching a 3-4 defense or 4-3.
Well, the passing game can be a great equalizer if you can give your quarterback protection. We'll see what they do on 2nd down 9. Big blitz coming.
Rolling back to the left, and then Hardway cutting it back to the inside. Gain of 3 that time for Garrett Hardway. He had gone back to pass, coach, didn't see what he liked, took off running, did a nice job, picks up a couple.
Well, I thought I saw both inside linebackers come on the blitz, so he made a good decision. He made something positive out of that play. Had he tried to scramble or try to throw it, it could have been a disaster. So that's a nice play by the quarterback.
Most likely 4-down territory for Lakewood. They have it 3rd and 7. Clock moving under 6 minutes. First quarter, West leading 7-0. Lakewood driving. Hardway rolls to his right. Got a man. Going to be short of the first down, but a completed pass about, let's say, 2 yards short. As that's a completed pass again to Chenault.
That's a nice job by Garrett Hardway, the quarterback that time. The intended receiver, he never even had a chance to find him. The rush came and got him. He scrambled to his right, found an open man. The receiver came back for the football. That's a sign of good coaching. He didn't wait for it. 4th down.
Yep, 4th and 4 for Lakewood. Big stop here coming for West Muskingum if they can cut him down. Going to cost him a penalty and a first down, however.
We're going to play goodwill here.
Yep, that is going to be a offsides on Amari Harris going into the neutral zone. So the penalty costly for the Tornadoes. Coach, that should give them the first down.
Well, they've had a trick play, a penalty, a quarterback scramble, find an open receiver. There's some pretty good football here. The Tornadoes better wake up.
Well, again, Coach, talk about that inexperience. Sophomore on the offsides. Hardway, quarterback
nice
keeper. He will get inside the 20 to the 16. Gain of 3 that time for Garrett Hardway.
Little quarterback draw all the way that time.
You know, Coach, it's 7-0 in favor of West, but one of the good things Lakewood is doing is they're running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground.
Exactly.
And keeping the clock running. We're down to 4.5 here in the first quarter, and they have it 2nd down and 7 to the Lancers.
Well, you know, they don't have to get a first down in 3 plays. They're in 4-down territory, just like the last series, so that's a nice play for them. A short gain, but it's positive.
They will go with Hardway on the keeper, and he is maybe 3 yards. Well, Coach, pretty simple what they're doing. They're keeping the ball in the quarterback's hands. At this rate, he's going to have 35
He faked the ball
carries.
to the inside, and he's counting on the linebackers keying on that ball carrier, you know, that first fake. But the defense for West M still had enough players in position to stop him for a 2-yard gain.
Lakewood's going to take a timeout with 3:56 to go. Let's give it a quick look at our great sponsors. The Community Bank, now's the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with Community Bank. Fink's Harley-Davidson, where they say, live to ride, ride to live. Fink's quality cars and RVs quick as a wink. Deal with Fink's and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education, serving grades K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. Levy's Zanesville's Flooring Store, Ziegler Tire, where they focus on building strong customer relationships and provide the highest quality of workmanship on each and every automotive repair. So, third down, and let's go with 6, Coach, for the Lancers following the timeout. Hardway with 3 backs, and it will be a pitch to
throw
White.
back to the quarterback.
He's going to throw it. He's in all kinds of trouble as Garrett Hardway, Coach, triple teamed that time.
Yeah, the Tornadoes didn't fall for that.
So the pass incomplete following the timeout. So now you got to look for the 4th down and 6. So 2 different trick plays for Lakewood. However, they may run out of downs. Ball's officially spotted at the 15-yard line. 3:51 to go here in the first quarter. 4th down and 6 for Lakewood.
Here's one for you. If you look at time of possession right here, you would think Lakewood was ahead. They're about to run out of time here.
Mm-hmm. So everybody in tight. Yep.
Timeout.
So another timeout for Lakewood, as Coach points out, the play clock running down. Let's finish some of our sponsorship. The Muskingum Valley Health Centers, where healthcare is made easy, they also sponsor the player of the game. Instant replays tonight brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union in South 60. That's us. We are the official streaming partner of the West Muskingum Tornadoes. Okay, Coach, 4th down and 6. You've moved the ball a little bit. Where are you going to go? Your best plays this far have been the trick plays, but Hardway has ran as well pretty good.
Well, you know, I think I'd come right back to that first pass down here that Hardway hit the receiver right in the hands, and he dropped the ball. I mean, I'd come back with that play. It was wide open, but I think we're going to see a blitz from West Muskingum. That's what they've shown so far. In any passing situation like this, they've sent their inside linebackers.
And Lakewood with no
this is a
receivers.
Power I formation.
Yep.
This is not your passing set.
No, it is strictly no receivers. All 11 guys right in the box offensively. Hardway under center.
There it is.
Got it. Oh, it's picked off. Picked off by David Evans for the Tornadoes, and he will get back to the 10-yard line. Nice pass, just a little flat, and Evans playing safety comes up with the pick.
I think in my early days of coaching, we ran the veer offense, and that was one of our key plays, that dump pass to the tight end. That's exactly what that was. Play action fake, but the safety stayed back, made a nice catch, nice interception, stopped the drive.
So David Evans and crew,
Lakewood's offense is definitely outshining the Tornadoes' offense. So we'll see what West End can come back with now.
Here on this second series for the Tornadoes, David Evans will now be the running back. Carter Smith had gone on the first series. Now Evans in the backfield. Brownrigg in the shotgun. He is back to pass. Looks for Tavin Bennett. Got him. Bennett makes a move, gets up to the 21-yard line. Good for about 8 yards.
You know, when I was down on the field, Tavin is a big boy. I mean, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody in the secondary that can cover him. But right now he's coming off. Something's wrong with his elbow.
Well, we remember him from basketball. They list him on the roster 6'4" and 200, and I think we'll go with that. So 2nd down and short. Evans remains in the backfield with Braxton Brownrigg. Brownrigg gives to Evans, cuts to the left. Oh, nice tackle defensively by Jamar White for Lakewood.
Jalen White, nice play.
He's going to lose a yard is Evans, so another passing situation perhaps for the Tornadoes. Carter Smith back in the lineup along with Tavin Bennett. Also entering the lineup for the receiver package is Cooper McKenzie. Carter Smith will be out wide on the right side of the line. Tavin Bennett wide on the left. And David Evans will be next to Braxton Brownrigg. Brownrigg taps his head for the play. And he will keep it himself for the quarterback keeper, and he may be gone. He's going to possibly be gone, and there's nobody going to catch him, Coach. That's going to go from the 18 to the end zone, 82 yards.
Wow. A little bit of lightning in that tornado.
Yeah, 82-yard run on a quarterback draw as we watch the replay. And, you know, that foot race was no contest, Coach.
No, not at all.
Braxton Bragg, 82-yard run here in the first quarter. Awaiting Silas Kuhn's catch, or I should say extra point. And with 2:45 to go here in the first quarter, Kuhn's kick is on the way, and it's good. All right, Coach, 14-0. This is not what Lakewood wanted, but for West Muskingum, the old saying, would you rather be lucky or would you rather be good in certain situations? You know, I mean, I'm not saying it's all luck, but they've had a couple of big plays for bang.
You know, they have a 2-touchdown lead, but their offense really hasn't established anything. They have one breakaway play for a touchdown and a kickoff return for a touchdown. So,
yeah, a little bit of luck, maybe.
That's a little misleading.
Well,
the
we'll
defense
find out.
for Lakewood has played very well, but they didn't have anybody who could run with Braxton Brown.
No.
Once he got past the linebackers, he was gone.
Yeah, as you saw on the replay, 5 guys were trailing him, and I'm not sure they could have caught him with a 3-wheeler.
Nope.
All right, Kuhn will kick off once again. Back
you know, this is a weapon too. If you're a kickoff guy, if your kicker can put it in the end zone, that's a long field for your opponent to deal with.
Absolutely. Another great
nice
kickoff,
high kick.
And that's going to be fielded at the 8. And then smothered by the tornadoes. And a penalty flag. Looks like it's going to be holding. The kickoff return by Colton Huntsman. And that's going to be half the distance, I'm assuming, Coach.
Wow. You know, I was surprised he got as far as he did on the kickoff, because a nice high kick that gives your kickoff team plenty of time to get down the field. So he brought it out, you know, out to the 23-yard line, but it's going to go backwards.
That is going to cost Lakewood. They do have the football. Now, the West defense, Coach, they have been up to it. They have played well. The turnover last possession after Lakewood emptied the playbook with a couple of trick passes. I don't expect them to make a living off of it. At some point, do they not just have to try their base offense and see what they get?
Well, their base offense between the tackles has been 0. I mean, they can't run the ball against the Tornadoes at all. But you're right. They're already on page 37 of the playbook on the trick plays.
In game 1. Now, again, that West Muskingum defense. Along the front, Amari Harris, 5'10", 2 1/4. Ashton Ansel, 6 foot, 200. Dom Stevenson, 5'11", 220. Caden Love, 6'3", 235. The linebackers, Carter Smith, 6'3", 205. Cooper McKenzie, 5'10", 205. In the secondary, Braxton Brownwick, 5'10", 165. David Evans, 5'9", 175. Tavin Bennett, 6'4", 200. Cohen McConnell, 6'3", 190. And Taven Haynes, 5'9", 155. Single back for Lakewood. They will go to the left side. That's Jamari White. Great open field tackle that time for the Tornadoes. Wow, that was Cooper McKenzie flying over from the linebacker spot. And that's not very much. Well, they're going to give him 4-yard 5.
They're going to 5 yards. Well, this is the kind of situation when you're a defensive coordinator and as your defense is experienced, you live for these things. To pin the team deep, make them pump their punter standing on the part of the field that's painted blue, and you're going to get great field position, especially after that first punt we saw.
They broke it outside, Coach. Whose responsibility on that? Was that the linebackers or the secondary coming up when he can get 5 yards?
No, it's not the secondary guy.
Okay. Not much running room again for White. Another penalty flag down, and I think Lakewood's going to march backwards once again.
I know it's a nice play by number 53, Caden Love, on defense.
What are they going to say? I think they're going to go procedure against the Lancers. So that will bring it second down and right around 10. And that is their third penalty for 19 yards here in the first quarter. With 2:24 to go, they have it second and 10.
You know, with the defense they're playing, your question, who has the outside contained? It's either the defensive end or the outside linebacker. And right now, it looks to me like West End only has 2 linebackers inside.
Okay.
And the other guys are playing back.
Hence the 5-yard able to get outside for White.
I know in a 4-man front, if you're in a 3-point stance, the defensive end, it's hard to keep contained. That's, when I coached the 50 defense, our defensive end stood up, and they were the guys who had to contain.
All right.
So I'll take a look here and see how this defense is set up.
2:24 to go
line
here in the first quarter. West Muskingum up 14-0. Under center is Hardway, and there's going to be movement along the offensive line for Lakewood again. That's penalty number 4 here in this first quarter. And, you know, Coach Brown and company, when they see films, they're going to certainly pound the guys on that one, are they not, Coach?
Third down and 10.
Yep.
Third down and 10 for Lakewood. They're
It's
at
just
their
getting
own 9-yard
more
line.
difficult on
West-
every snap for them.
Yep, everybody up for the Tornadoes. It's going to be White to the outside. Excellent open field tackle that time by McKenzie. Great tackle by Cooper McKenzie from that linebacker spot. Coach, he was flying to the ball.
That's the guy that has the outside contained.
Got it.
4th down. This is
they
what
have
you
no
want.
choice. They have to punt here.
I mean, if I was to, I'd be telling 23, move up. He's not going to boot that thing 40 yards.
Yeah, now David Evans is at the Lakewood 45-yard line, and Coach, line of scrimmage is the 9. That's 36 yards of cushion. Well, that's a better punt. Hits at the 38, and Evans will let it sail out of bounds. So West Muskingum will set up the Lakewood 45-yard line. Good field position for the Tornadoes, who lead 14-0 here in this first quarter.
That was a well-executed punt, though. There's no chance for a return. He got a decent distance with it. They're going to start their 45.
Yeah, that's where the ball went out of bounds. So Tornadoes have spread things out between the run and the pass here in this first quarter. Honestly, Coach, they really haven't had the ball that much. They've had
they haven't.
7 running plays and 2 passing plays, 9 offensive plays for the Tornadoes here in the first quarter. 117.
Those 82-yard breakaway runs will just ruin your time of possession.
Yeah, and your 98-yard kickoff.
But you don't get points for that in football.
Yeah. So, 9 offensive plays for the Tornadoes with 117 to go here in the first quarter. Now going as a package will be Tavin Bennett and Carter Smith as the twin wideouts on the left side. Braxton Brownrigg has Carter Smith in motion. Brownrigg will keep it himself again. Same play where he had the big touchdown run. This time he gets 14.
I think we're seeing a pattern that's going to be very, very important for the Tornadoes this year, and that's their quarterback running the ball, predetermined runs.
Well, Braxton Brownrigg, certainly a capable athlete and converted wide receiver from last year. 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. Clock under 1 minute in the first quarter. David Evans in the backfield. He just has the 1 carry, make it 2 now. So he breaks contain, gets the first down, gets down to the 20-yard line, and he will gain 12. Coach, looks like West Muskingum now starting to dominate the offensive line.
When I looked at that set, the defensive end was on the outside shoulder of the widest offensive lineman, And there wasn't anybody else there, I don't think, until the center. There's a gaping gap there, and the linebacker just couldn't fill it. I mean, look, there it is again. I mean, that's a large gap.
1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. That is Carter Smith in motion. He will get the flip handoff, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, gets 3 yards. That should end the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play here on South 60 Films, the leader in high school MVL football in the area, West Muskingum Tornadoes 14, Lakewood 0.
That is the end of the first quarter. Your score, Lakewood 0.
That gives us an opportunity here to recognize our sponsors. The Community Bank, now's the perfect time to join the Go Lakewood movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Fink's Harley Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs. Quick as a wink, deal with Fink's and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. Levy's Zanesville Flooring Store says good luck Tornadoes. Ziegler Tire, where we focus on building strong customer relationships and provide the highest quality of workmanship on each and every automotive repair. The Muskingum Valley Health Center's MVHC, Healthcare Made Easy, and they will sponsor the player of the game. And the instant replays brought to you tonight by the Ohio Educational Credit Union. And of course, we are South 60 Films, the official streaming partner of the West Muskingum Tornadoes. Okay, Coach, West Muskingum, great field position. And here they go, 1st and 10 to start the second quarter. They will have Evans in the backfield. And he will be joined this time, looks like, yep, just David Evans. Brownrigg in the shotgun. So at the wingbot spot will be Cade Porter into the lineup for the Tornadoes. It's going to be a straight ahead run by Bragg. Another penalty flag flies. And the officials in good form tonight, Coach.
Well, you know, when you hire 6 guys, that's what you get.
And you don't pay them a lot? Why not? So Brownrigg straight up the middle, but a holding call goes against the Tornadoes left side of the line. And that will be the second penalty of the game, or third penalty of the game for the Tornadoes. 3 for 30 yards. That will push them back to the 26-yard line. Second down and 16 for the Tornadoes. Brownrigg and Evans in the backfield. Bennett on the left side is one of the wideouts. Brownrigg.
Here comes the blitz.
Looks down the sideline for Bennett.
That's interference.
Almost a great catch, just out of his grip.
I'm surprised that didn't draw a call from the referee, because the defender had his hands on the receiver but the last 5 yards of that route.
All right, so make it third down.
It's good protection that time.
For the Tornadoes, another passing situation. Carter Smith, Tavin Bennett. Bennett in the slot. Smith as the outside receiver. Cooper McKenzie as the wing on the right side. Bragg will go. Another false start.
Yeah, that didn't look very smooth. Looks like week 1, Howard.
Yeah, well, I tell you, that's the 4th penalty for the Tornadoes here in the first half. And I'm thinking films on Sunday, Coach Brown, we're probably not going to be very happy.
Yeah, watching this game film won't be like watching cartoons, that's for sure.
Ashton Ansel, along with Cooper McKenzie and Carter Smith, 3-receiver package with Smith in motion, Tavin Bennett on the right side, and it's going to be another false start.
Timeout.
They get the timeout, yeah. Fortunate because there was another false start, Coach. So the timeout for the Tornadoes on the third down play. So that was the first time we've seen that formation. 3 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. One of the receivers from the left, Carter Smith, going in motion. Maybe a little toss to him.
Yeah,
perhaps.
that was trips into the short side. So, if you're a defensive coach, that doesn't smell very good. Teams just don't put trips into the short side for no reason. So they were bringing that guy in motion. I could see him running a wheel route down the sideline or something like that on the wide side. Try to draw man cover and just outrun his defender.
14-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. 11:35 to go here in the first quarter. Game number 1 on a Thursday.
Right. Trips into the short side again.
Yep, same formation. That is Smith, now Ansel in the slot, and McKenzie with Tavin Benders to receive. Same formation.
Same play. Oh,
yep,
no,
now Smith will stop, and he will get the short pass.
Oh!
Nice catch, great tackle. Oh, be careful, young man. Somebody talking smack there for Lakewood, not a good idea.
Well, right now, Carter Smith knows what it feels like to be a towel hung out on the line to dry at the laundry, because he was definitely hung out to dry on that one.
Yeah.
4th down and a whole bunch.
Yep. That was Cohen Chenault, 5'6", 130, making that solo tackle on Carter Smith, who's 6'3" and 700. And nice job by that young man. All
Not
right.
the size of the dog in the fight.
Here we go. 4th down for the Tornadoes. They need something to happen here big. Back to pass, drop for Bragg. He's looking for Bennett. Oh, he's got holding. Oh, in and out of his hands. Could have, should have been a penalty, Coach.
Well, I would have called pass interference on that one on the Tornadoes because he pushed off.
Yeah, we can see on the replay that the ball could have actually been caught. So now, hey, West turns it over on downs. Ball back to Lakewood.
I have to admit, I've never understood pass interference. I thought we should have had 2 pass interference calls, one on Lakewood on a previous play and one on the Tornadoes on that one, and no flags at all.
There are 2 calls right off the top of my head in different sports that are just totally subjective. That is a block charge in basketball and pass interference in football.
Yep,
you just don't know. Officials, they call what they see. They're taught to look for certain things,
and
you just don't know.
And I think you're right. I think referees interpret it differently.
Absolutely.
Some people say, well, they're letting them play. But if you're on offense, you're thinking,
I want
the penalty. Oh, there's a nice fake.
That's going to be Hardway. Hardway's good running room. He has the first down and more. Finally tripped up by Braxton Brownrigg, but he is going to get 17 yards. Garrett Hardway. That's his 5th carry for 27 yards. And you can see, nice cut up the middle. And then Brownrigg with the trip up. Some help there late by
they got a holding
Taven
call.
Haynes. Oh, boy, Lakewood.
How many penalties on Lakewood? 6?
Coach, just to go back to the point you were making a moment ago about referees calling different things, calling it tight, calling it loose, letting them play, whatever you want to say. This particular crew, they like to throw flags. That's right. It's just, you have to adjust as a player and coach to how it's called.
Because you're going to go into a game next week, and a crew may be just the opposite. You may look at a guy and draw a pass interference call.
That is penalty number 5 to answer your question for 34 yards. That's going to be Hardway tracked down from behind by the Tornadoes. Ashton Ansel and Carter Smith. Looks like another penalty flag.
That was the same play as the last time. You got a face mask on the Tornadoes. That's going to be a first down.
Yeah, boy. All right, so that's going to be marked off against the Tornadoes.
Oh, it's a 5-yard face mask. Okay.
Incidental. However, that is West Muskingum's 5th penalty.
Still first down.
Yeah. 10:20 to go here in the second quarter. West Muskingum in the season opener. Both teams have had their moments, but both teams certainly has some rust, Coach.
Well, now they're. What we get out a bingo card and call some numbers here, guys.
What are we going to get?
First down and 9.
All right, we believe it's first down. We're unsure of the yardage. We're going to get a conference. And not sure, Coach. I wonder if they're trying to figure out where's the yardage going to be. The line of scrimmage actually was well behind where he was brought down by Ansel and Smith. So I'm thinking there should be further yardage for Lakewood. I'm thinking the ball possibly up to the 35. They're going to give him a couple.
Face mask gone.
Okay.
What?
So they only
face mask gone. Lakewood?
Okay.
Well, I've never seen that before.
Penalty against Lakewood.
They
make it first down. Somehow, though, the yardage was positive. Hardway dragged down from behind, and he will be sacked for a loss of 5 yards. So that's Amari Harris on the tackle that time. But, coming back to that, Coach, if it's on Lakewood, they shouldn't have had forward progress with the placement of the football. Am I wrong?
Well, I'm a little confused with the recent calls. But that time, number 20 for West End didn't make the sack, but he calls it. Ashton inside. Nice play. Chase the quarterback out of the pocket.
Second down and 10 for the Lancers. West Muskingum, 4-3 defense. They will go straight up the middle with Jamar White, and he will gain just a couple. Actually make that Sam Zwayer, his first carry for a couple. Third down, another passing situation.
We haven't seen a rush up the middle from Lakewood for quite a while. I mean, it hadn't worked all night, so it didn't work very well that time. Third down, quarterback's limping a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been taking a beating on those quarterback keeps.
Absolutely. He ran the ball.
I don't see a lot of guys on that sideline that can come in for him either.
He ran the ball either scrambling or running 8 times in the first quarter. He's back to pass, again. And he is going to be sacked, throws it away, nearly intercepted. It's incomplete, and he is down again, Coach.
Well, that might be his best play of the night, getting rid of that football without it being picked off.
He is now 1 of 5 passing.
Well, it's a shame because they had a great play on their first play from scrimmage. The quarterback keeper gained about 25 yards, I believe, but it was brought back by a penalty.
David Evans will be deep on the punt return for the Tornadoes. It's going to be fourth down.
Catch the punt.
And 7. Football at the 33-yard line for the Lakewood Lancers.
Catch the punt.
Another penalty flag.
Dead ball. Delay of game.
Delay of game. And, Coach, that's a quick 25 seconds.
Yes, it was.
Woo. All right. That is penalty number 7 for the Lakewood Lancers. They're getting to the point. They're going to have more penalties than offensive plays.
Whoa.
High snap.
Catch the punt.
Pretty good punt. Evans will field it at his 45.
Run this thing back.
Cuts to the left, back to the middle, and down to Lakewood territory where the Tornadoes will have it, 1st and 10. Coach, I'm going to go on record as saying this is a really important drive for the Tornadoes. They have got to put together a flawless drive, meaning no penalties, good yardage on first and second down so that they're not behind the chains on third down or even fourth down. This is really what I think the coaches are saying. Hey, guys, now's the time. We're nearly midway of the second quarter.
Well, so far they look like a team that plays very hard, but they're very inexperienced and making all kinds of mistakes. So you're right, Howard. They need to come out and execute this series and get down the field and put that third touchdown on the board.
Absolutely. They will have Brownrigg handing to Evans. Evans, not a lot of running room, gang tackled by Lakewood. The Lakewood defense isn't terrible, Coach.
No, it's not.
Yeah, this is a team coming off 1-9 last year. They've been okay.
Man, it's a 1-yard gain.
Evans, 3 carries, 14 yards. So behind the chains are the Tornadoes.
It looked to me like an awful lot of guys in white jerseys on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage on that snap. I mean, they had a lot of defensive penetration. 4-man line, it's like a 4-3 defense. Man, they're ignoring the pass.
Bragg rolls to his right, being chased, gets it away. Nice pass, nice catch. That is Tavin Bennett, still on his feet, into the end zone. Touchdown, Tornadoes. That's going to be 39 yards.
Well, Lakewood, have an illegal man downfield.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, my.
See if we can see a replay on that.
I'm not sure the last time I saw illegal man downfield in high school football. Might have been Ansel.
75 is down the field, but I think that was after the throw.
Yeah, actually, Ansel's a receiver. Wow. That's just a penalty you very rarely see in high school football.
Well, Lakewood's defense, I recognize what they're doing. When you have a team, you want to stop the run, you overcommit to stop the run. Look how many guys are close to the line of scrimmage. They have one guy in the secondary, basically. Everybody else is on the line of scrimmage.
Evans on the carry, great running room, close to a first down. Gain of 13 on the play, so that's his best run of the night. 4 carries, 27 yards for Evans, and a very manageable situation now for West Muskingum.
Well, you overcommit to stop the run. You force a team to throw. And when you got Tavin out there running routes, they have nobody that can cover him. I mean, they just don't.
Carter Smith will be wide right.
So they go to him again.
Yep. Tavin Bennett on the short side of the field as the other receiver. Bragg in the shotgun. Oh, he fumbles the snap. He is in trouble, big trouble. He's going to throw it away, and
I think that's going to be a penalty.
Grounding. Or not. Yeah. Oh, no. They're saying incomplete. Break for the Tornadoes, Coach.
Well, there wasn't anybody there. They're going to talk about it.
Yeah. There was nobody there, and he was not vertical. He was almost horizontal when he threw that one away.
Well, what you were saying, they need to come out and play error-free football.
And put together a drive.
They just can't do it right now. They're just not at that point yet.
It is
week
14
one,
to nothing.
They're not there yet. We got a timeout here, looks like by West.
So it's another fourth down. So, coming back to the point, Coach, 14 to nothing, you've got a comfortable lead, but a kickoff return on the opening play where guys are probably not ready. And then the quarterback breaks one right up the middle and uses the foot speed for a touchdown. So 2 unlikely touchdowns.
That's right.
Neither one of these drives were anything, as you've pointed out, to say, wow, we have dominated the line of scrimmage especially.
Well, you're exactly right, Howard. That's not something that Coach Brownrigg can hang his hat on going into next week's game. We're scoring on an 80-yard quarterback sneak, and we scored on kickoff returns. You can't depend on that. You got to depend on running the football off tackle, throwing the ball to your receivers, and not having so many penalties. And right now, they got a great receiver in Tavin, and They can't get the ball to him.
Right. He's had a couple of end zone shots. One was coming back by way of penalty. One also came back where they just couldn't connect. 4th down, here we go. It's
a
Evans
good pass rush last time.
with Amari Harris as the blocking back for the Tornadoes.
There's a lot of guys in the backfield.
Yeah, a full house. It's going to be the direct snap to Brownrigg. Nice run, nice blocking, good first down. One of the better plays for the Tornado. That was sharp, Coach. That's hard drive offensive line play. You can see.
I can see right now. That's going to be that could be the thrust of their attack, and it's always a real pain for defense when you have to account for the quarterback to be a runner. You get used to the fullback or tailback or whatever, but when that quarterback becomes a viable running threat, that puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
And that was great blocking guard center combo. 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. That's going to be Carter Smith. Cuts back, cuts inside the 15 to the 13. Now Carter Smith's a guy, Coach. He runs hard, and he will get after it. Just a tough, good football player. Yep. I'm expecting maybe more carries for him tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that. Fire off the football and, knock people off the line of scrimmage and run through them.
2nd down and 3 for the Tornadoes. Evans in the backfield. He will have it.
There's a nice
cut
block
to the left side. Spins down inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal. David Evans, great run, great spin, great block, Coach.
That looked like the counter tray play that the Redskins put in. Let's see. The guard and tackle both pull. Guard kicks out. Tackle sealed up the middle. There wasn't even anybody there for him to block.
All right.
That's a heck of a play.
You can see on the
Coach
replay.
Culver,
yeah,
the late Coach Culver at Sheridan ran that play. And when we stopped it for 7 or 8 yards, we thought we'd done a great job.
Yeah, it's only 2nd down instead of 1st again.
Yeah.
That's Evans in the backfield. Fumbled snap. Evans picks it up, though. He is fighting to the goal line. Gets to the 1-yard line. Gain of 3 for David Evans. 6 carries, 38 yards for Evans on the ground.
Evans he's pointing to the coach. Says, give me the rock.
Yeah, you can see he's very explosive.
Had he gotten the handoff cleanly, he'd have scored.
Yeah. No, he's the lone back again. 9 guys in tight for the Tornadoes. It's Evans on the left side again. He is stopped. He stopped at the 1-yard line. Nice job by Lakewood. And David Evans, no gain on the play. You can see the replay. He had some room, but the hole closed very quickly.
Yes, it did.
We have another timeout here.
I'm impressed with the Lakewood defense. Howard, I mean, they played tough the entire game.
Absolutely. This is a statement situation for West on
yes,
3rd and goal.
3rd down.
Yep. 3rd and goal. They've got 2 chances to get it in.
I think Brownrigg is going to keep this one. Nope.
Instead, he'll go to Evans. Evans into the end zone. He walks in, 3-yard touchdown run for David Evans. Well, Coach, you can see it. They love that left side of the line, do they not?
They like that left side, that's for sure.
That makes the score 20-0.
Okay, Silas. Punch this thing through there, buddy. Make it 21.
Yep, that'll give West a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of momentum going into the locker room at halftime. Low snap, kick on the way, and it's good. All right, that makes the score 21-0 in favor of West with exactly 4 minutes to go. So, Coach, as I survey the land here in this first half, again, game 1, nothing's going to be perfect. There are a lot of things to work on both sides of the ball. I think the defense for the Tornadoes, pretty sharp. They've made a couple of mistakes, but for the most part, they've played pretty good assignment football. I think offensively, I still think they're working some things out.
I think you're exactly right, Howard. I would say that the unit on the field tonight that's looked the sharpest is a Tornado defense. Much sharper than their offense, which is what you expect any season.
Right.
You can get your defense sharpened a little quicker than you can your offense. Takes a little more timing on offense. I mean, look how many drop snaps we've had on offense for the Tornadoes and penalties. But their defense has played well. And I think the other unit that's played well is the Lancer defense.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. For a team coming off a bad stretch of 4 years where they've only won 3 games, yeah, these kids have hung in there.
Yes, they have.
21-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. Silas Kuhn set to kick off for West Muskingum. With exactly 4 minutes to go. And there's Kuhn's kick.
Another high kick.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Down to the 6.
Yep, it's fielded. Illegal block in the backfield by
Good
Lakewood,
coverage.
not called. As the Lancers able to get away with one. So the Lakewood Lancers will set up at their own 20-yard line.
That's a good kick, good coverage that time. Now they have 80 yards to negotiate to get a point.
My guess, Coach, is that on the sidelines, the defensive coaches were telling the guys, okay, we want 3 and out so we can get the ball back to run the last 2-3 minute drill, the lightning drill, if you will. So
That's
let's
right.
get the ball back right away. Maybe West takes some chances, some run blitzes.
Well, they know that if they can keep it from getting a first down, they're going to have great field position if they force Lakewood to punt.
1st and 10 for Lakewood. Their own 20. Hardway rolls. Now he pitches. Man, excellent open field tackle that time.
Yes, it was.
By the Tornadoes. And what a great tackle.
Who was that?
That's, I believe, David
12?
Evans. Or David Evans, possibly. Also in on the stop that time was Caden Love and Tavin Bennett. So both of those 3 guys, I should say.
13.
Yeah. In on the tackle.
I thought that was going to be a nice game.
Yeah.
That's a well-designed play, the run-pass option type of look, and he pitched that ball at the last second. I thought he was going to turn the corner and make a play, but that was a great tackle on the sideline. Great start for the Tornado defense.
2nd down. Back to pass is Hardway. He is being chased, got a man wide open in the flat area, and then thrown out of bounds by the Tornadoes' Cohen McConnell, but not before it's a completed pass close to the first down. Gain of 7.
Well executed, well blocked. He rolled away from the pressure from the backside. Nice throw by Hardway.
That's 2 of 6 for 12 yards. 3rd down. Big stop coming for the Tornadoes if they want to get the ball back with some time on the clock.
Big play for the Lancers.
They will roll this time to the left in Hardway. Oh, is he thrown down? Give that to Amari Harris. I tell you what, Coach. Cafeteria, extra lunches for him on Monday.
Oh, man. We have timeout called by Lakewood.
As a matter of fact, he may get a free lunch Monday.
The quarterback was trying to think, am I going to throw it? Am I going to run it? And Harris just absolutely closed on him so quickly, he couldn't do anything.
Well, if you heard Coach Brownwig talk about some of the newcomers and some of the guys that have made a lot of progress, there's a sophomore, and there's an example of his athleticism along that defensive end position. So, Amari Harris, free lunch.
I don't think I would have called timeout here if I was Lakewood. I thought sure it was I thought West called a timeout, but it was Lakewood. I mean, I'd have let that clock run as much as possible and then punt the ball away.
Yeah, 2:47 to go here in the 4th. I mean, you're not going to run a trick play here. And why burn that timeout? And David Evans is going to be set up at the Lakewood 45-yard line.
Catch the ball. He's punted the ball to the right. The last time he punted it kind of to the left a little. So I think he's trying to kick it directionally on purpose. If I was him now, I'd tell him to kick the ball out. Oh, look out.
Could be a safety. Nope. Ooh, partially blocked,
That
perhaps.
was ugly.
Ball will sail up to the 42-yard line. I'll
Well,
tell
that was
you what, Carter
That's
Smith.
a great result.
Carter Smith may have gotten a fingernail on it.
First and 10.
Woo. Well, West will have good field position. That is the third punt of the first half for the Lancers, averaging about 21 yards per punt. And so the Tornadoes will take over. Great field position. I think, Coach, they have no timeouts.
I don't think they have any timeouts.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what the Tornadoes come up with. Carter Smith.
I bet West M called that last time out. I saw a referee signal Lakewood, but I bet it was West.
Okay. You would think. Brownrigg back to pass, rolls. Here comes the pressure. He's going to let it fly. Has a receiver, has a completed pass, has the first down. That's a great throw and catch to Cade Porter.
That may be Brownrigg's best play of the night, except for that 82-yard run. I mean, he was under pressure from the start of that play.
4 of 6 for Brownrigg, 30 yards, and a first down for West. Down to 2:20 to go here in the first half. West trying to tack on another one. That's Brownrigg rolling to his right. Got a completed pass.
Clock's going to run.
Yep, that's going to be good for 7 yards to Carter Smith.
We got a late flag here.
Well, it would probably be a dead ball, would it not?
I mean, that flag wasn't thrown until the play was completely over.
Well, another conference. Another discussion going on between the officials. Let's see. Dead ball.
Dead ball. Personal foul.
Roughing the passer. Okay.
No.
Roughing.
Personal foul against the defense.
Okay.
Offsetting
penalties.
I think Coach Brownrigg took the guy out.
I think you're probably right. Maybe a little bit of discussion. I think perhaps the penalties on the offensive lineman for West Muskingum there.
Well,
you could see on the replay.
Well, they called a penalty on both teams.
Yeah. I think they called roughing against Lakewood on Bragg. And then
I don't think there should have been a penalty on West Muskingum. I mean, the guy was defending himself.
Carson Lewis, okay, he was. 2nd down and 3 for the Tornadoes. Bragg with Evans to his left. 3-step drop. Looks to the end zone for Tavin Bennett. Great throw and catch. And the touchdown. That's a nice looking ball right there, Coach.
Yes, it was.
So the first touchdown of the year, pass and catch for Braxton Bragg. This time to Tavin Bennett.
You know, there's just nobody in the secondary for Lakewood that can cover him.
No.
I mean, he can out-jump them. He's bigger than they are. He's probably faster than they are. Nice pass.
Yes. That's what I think the coaches want to see more of. A little bit of great execution. That extra point, of course, is good by Silas Kuhn. Well, Coach, it's 28-0 now in favor of the Tornadoes. I think the second quarter, certainly after they got some of the wheels oiled, they've looked a little better these last couple of drives.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
And I think
I was impressed with their quarterback.
Yes.
Brownrigg. He's been throwing the ball under pressure, and when he's not under pressure, he's throwing it very accurately. Something you don't see from a first-time starting quarterback who's a senior. The accuracy is usually not very good, but he's put the ball in catchable places.
Well, next week, looking ahead just a little bit, they're going to need Brownrigg to step up from the passing department in a tough game that they're anticipating against Fort Fry next week. So all the game experience he gets tonight is going to only be valuable for next week and down the road.
No doubt about it.
Kuhn with the kickoff. It's another good one. High. Picked up inside the 5. West Muskingum on the pursuit.
Oh,
nice job
hit.
Defensively by the Tornadoes. That is Nick Majors on the special teams tackle. So Lakewood with one timeout left. Unfortunately for the Tornadoes, Coach, they have none left. So Lakewood, they're probably just going to run it and try to get out of here at halftime. As well as the defense is playing for the Tornadoes this second quarter. I think that if they had some timeouts, they may have a shot at getting the ball back.
Yeah. Well, I think Lakewood will be really careful here. You're not going to score a 29-point touchdown,
No.
but you can sure give away one.
You're going to run the football if you're Lakewood. Under
That's great
center is
kickoff
Hardway.
coverage.
Yep. That's going to be Evans, and he is smoked right behind the line of scrimmage. Nice job defensively by the Tornadoes. Leading the way is Caden Love. Excellent job by Love that time. So make
we've
it
called his
second
name
down and
several
11.
times.
Clock down to 1:10 to go here in the second quarter. 6 carries, 11 yards for Jalen White.
Second down and 12.
Lakewood most likely going to let the second down be a running play, run the clock down, the play clock that is, and the field clock. They will be in the I with an up back who will get the football. That's Zwayer. He is back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. So I'll make it third down and one more play before the halftime comes about. So, West Muskingum, Coach, 28-0 at the break, most likely. That's not all bad.
No.
I mean, I think a lot of coaches would take that early on.
There's a lot of points that need addressed, but you're right. They do have 28 points.
And we talked about this in the pregame. Expectations, for the Tornadoes, expectations. Well, you should be up 35-0. Last play of the first half is a running play by Love, and he goes nowhere. But, those expectations that we talked about for the Tornadoes, well, gee whiz, all the mistakes you made, you only led 28-0. Well, that's not all bad.
Well, I think their defense is going to keep them in games. No matter who they play, their defense will keep them in games. They're big, they're fast, they run the ball well, they hit hard. I like their defense. I like the way they play it. They attack, and that's what's going to have to carry them here in the first half of the season because their offense is inconsistent at best right now.
And we, of course, we know it will improve. Certainly will improve. They did put together a couple of drives there in the second quarter. And, that's all you can ask for, I think, at this point. So.
Well, when you replace everybody, it takes a little while. Unfortunately, they're not playing Lakewood next week.
No.
They have a quality opponent coming into town, Fort Fry, a perennial playoff power in their division.
And then New Lex away,
and they're
John
not afraid
away.
to play up. I mean, they've scheduled Zanesville in the past.
Yeah, beat them.
And beat them. So, and it doesn't get easier after that. I think they have to go to New Lexington.
Yes, and John Glenn.
Anytime you have to play at the Rock, it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah.
So, they have a lot to work on. I'm sure that talking halftime, eliminate the penalties, eliminate the mistakes, and guys, we'll have 50 when the game's over.
Yes.
But
okay, we are at halftime where the West Muskingum Tornadoes lead the Lakewood Lancers 28-0 here on South 60 Films. We're going to take a break and enjoy both bands. So thanks for being with us and enjoy the show.
Get ready to sing along as the Lancer Band takes you through our TikTok medley. Building our FYP brick by brick, the Lakewood Game music stop it's Triangle. Now trending with Rose and Bruno Mars in APT. the Lakewood Marching Band.
That's your money from the floor. So what's this going to be? Percussion. That's what my grandsons are. They're drummers. But they can play. They play everything. Guitars, piano, horns. They're in a perfect place.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the near sideline where the 2025 edition of the Tornado Marching Band is now entering the field. They're in their 30th season under the direction of Andrew Reese. The band starts tonight with a pop song from 2009 that has become a fan favorite at sporting events everywhere. Here is Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. For our next song, which was Elton John's #1 hit in the United States. The band continues tonight with Crocodile Rock. The band finishes tonight with a classic from Motown, recorded in 1967 by the Four Tops. Enjoy, Reach Out.
Halftime at West Muskingum, where the Tornadoes lead Lakewood 28-0. In a half, Coach Clifford, that ups and downs for West, but when they needed to get it done, special teams, big plays, and a really good defense.
Well, I think that last word you said is the highlight of the night for West End, is their defense. Their defense has completely shut down Lakewood. The offense looks like a bunch of kids that haven't played a varsity game before as starters. But they're playing hard. They're just making a few mistakes here and there. But I think the defense right now, like we talked at the end of the first half, that's the best unit on the field tonight is the West End defense.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from the first half. Pass intercepted by David Evans inside the 5-yard line for the Tornadoes. Stopped the drive. And then Braxton Bragg on a quarterback keeper. He outruns the secondary and leaves them way behind on an 82-yard touchdown run for Bragg. And then David Evans on the left side of the line scores a touchdown for the Tornadoes. Back to pass is the quarterback Hardway, and he is thrown down by Amari Harris. Bragg looks for Tavin Bennett in the end zone. That's good for 6. And the 28-0 lead for the Tornadoes.
Well, the perfect extra point kicks from Silas.
Yep.
He's kicked the ball deep on kickoffs. So the kicking game has worked well for the Tornadoes. Have they had to punt yet?
No, they have not.
That's right. I didn't
Numbers
think so.
from the first half. Lakewood, 15 rushes for 35 yards, passing 3 of 8 for 32 yards and the 1 interception. For the Tornadoes, 16 rushes, 162 yards. But again, the 82-yarder by Bragg. They did lose 1 fumble. Bragg, 5 of 7 passing for 38 yards. So 200 yards of offense for the Tornadoes, Doug. And defensively, just 67 for Lakewood.
Yeah. That passing stat is impressive. Your first-time starter,
Oh, yeah.
5 for 7, touchdown pass.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't throw
that's important.
long and deep, but he hit his receiver short. Yep. He looked a little for the checkdowns and then saw the guys coming out. He did, in my mind, exactly what the coaches wanted him to do. Follow the game plan. We're going to throw short and go yards after the catch.
And run the football.
Yes. I expect West Muskingum to run the football extensively in the second half. West will kick off. Lakewood will have the football going from left to right. And Silas Kuhn will boot it away. Here we go. Second half. Game 1. Lakewood and West Muskingum fielded inside the 5-yard line and up to the 15 to the 20, 25-yard line. That's Luca Vines for Lakewood. So the West Muskingum defense outstanding in the first half. They go this way. Amari Harris, Ashton Ansel, Dom Stevenson, Caden Love along the front line. Carter Smith, Cooper McKenzie, the linebackers. The secondary, Braxton Brownrigg, David Evans, Tavin Bennett, Taven Haynes, and Cohen McConnell. And, Coach, if that team defensively plays like they did in the first half, could be a big night for West all around, 0 points.
Well, the fans see the points on the scoreboard. The coaches see the other side of the scoreboard where the 0 is.
Right.
That's really important to a defensive coach.
Hardway at quarterback. He will throw to Evans. Nice open field tackle that time by the Tornadoes. Great stop by Taven Haynes. Just a few yards that time for Lakewood. 3 of 7 passing now for 14 yards.
Jalen White avoided about 7 tackles to gain 2 yards or get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Now the referees are talking about something.
Is that a penalty flag I see?
Well, that's the way they're acting.
Right between the 20 and 25-yard line. It's either a hot dog wrapper or a penalty flag. Let's hope it's a hot dog wrapper. Dead ball, personal foul, Tornadoes.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's going to cost West Muskingum. Coach, there's how coaches have notebooks on the sideline. I don't know if you had them, but if you did, I can tell you right now, if Coach Brownrigg has one, he's writing in that little notebook right now. Like, why do we have a personal foul on the first play from scrimmage defensively of the second half? Wouldn't he write that?
That's one of our team goals, was no defensive penalties. And the fewer penalties you have on defense, the better your defense plays. There's no doubt about it.
1st and 10 for Lakewood. They will pass again. That's a completion, and squirting to the outside for a couple is Jalen White. And after the completion from Hardware now 4 of 8 for 16 yards.
I think that's the kind of stuff they need to do. Those quick passes to the outside, don't let the pass rush become a factor. Yeah. And then you can do that pump fake deal, and two can go stop and go and be into the secondary.
3rd down and 7. That's Jalen White now in the slot for Lakewood. He's been their go-to guy most of the football game. And this time it's a fake by Hardway, and he will squeeze his way up to the 45-yard line, gain of 3. And bring up a 3rd and manageable, Coach? 3rd and 5, 4.5?
Well, I think it's a passing down for them. I don't think they can. I don't think they can run it unless they do a trick play.
So looking ahead, they get 2 or 3. They go for it on 4th down, 4th and short from midfield. I would. Of course, I'm up here.
Well, I wouldn't. Here comes a blitz.
Oh, Hardway's in big trouble, and he is just smacked. Who is that on that tackle that time? That's our friend Amari Harris.
Yeah, family in blue, family reunion back there at the quarterback.
So not only a free lunch on Monday, it's a double lunch for Amari. And Hardway is thrown down for a 6-yard loss, and now they will, in fact, punt, will the Lancers.
When you have a 28-point lead on a 3rd and 4 situation like that, and you're a defensive coordinator, you can gamble, you can call any defense you want. They're not going to score 29 points on a play, so you can really be a River Road gambler on that call. Oh, short man, look punt. Out for that thing.
That's going to hit at the 45, and the coaches on the sideline said, let that thing fall. Lucky didn't hit somebody from West in the back. And that was just a 19-yard punt. 4 punts for 81 yards for Lakewood. Okay, so West Muskingum gets the ball for the first time in the second half, Coach. 28-0. I'm sure they made some adjustments at halftime. I'm thinking they pound the ball.
I'm thinking that don't drop the snap from the center. Don't hold anybody. They can do whatever they want if they just don't have penalties.
Just play clean football is your point. All right. Well, Evans now in motion. Bragg will throw to Evans out of the backfield. Nice pass. Evans up to the 48-yard line. And, Coach, you called it. That's going to be a block in the back or holding or something.
Yep.
Right? Got to be. Yeah, that's going to.
That's a nice play, well designed, picked up some nice yardage, all for nothing.
Another penalty for the Tornadoes. That is their 7th for 75 yards. There's that notebook again for Coach Brownrigg. One for the defense, one for the offense. Guys, we got the football to start the second half for the first time. We run a nice play and we hold.
Well, I can tell you right now, my ceramics would be doing motivational drills on Monday.
No, they'd be doing them right now on the sideline. Oh, no, high snap. Brownrigg gets a big pickup, but ball falling in his hands, and he is knocked out of bounds. But he's going to lose about 4 yards.
It's so frustrating for a coaching staff. You go to a game plan and you have certain things that you want to establish, and you have no opportunity to do that because you snap the ball over the quarterback's head. You have penalties.
Holding on a nice
you know,
run.
It's just so frustrating. They're going to come out of this game, and they're not going to know what they do well.
All right, so here we go. Second down and a lot for the Tornadoes. Bragg in the shotgun. Evans next to him. Back to pass. Has time. Oh, he's got Bennett in the open, but nice defensive play by Lakewood.
Yes, it was. The ball's just a little underthrown. Had it been just a little bit better throw, he was open.
Yeah, it was just a seam route up the middle of the field. He's
got two steps on the defender.
Coming into the lineup for
That's a tough
Westers.
throw for a new quarterback. Over the middle. I mean, there's pro quarterbacks that don't make a living throwing the ball over the middle.
Colin McConnell comes in as the fourth wide receiver for the Tornadoes. They have Tavin Bennett on the short side of the field as the lone receiver.
Big rush.
And Bragg looks for Bennett, well covered, nearly intercepted. That's a nice defensive play by Lakewood. Let's give him credit, Coach.
Yes, it was. Great coverage.
And fourth down for the Tornadoes. You can see Bragg has plenty of time. He launches a good ball, but that's really good coverage by Lakewood.
Yes, it was.
So fourth down for the Tornadoes.
It's not the way you want to come out in the second half after a inspirational halftime message and come out, and now it's fourth down and in a different zip code from where you started.
First punt of the football game for the Tornadoes. That's Carter Smith. Line of scrimmage will be the 27-yard line. High snap, short kick, 1, 2, 3. Oh, the
Great
returner
bounce.
lets it bounce. And it will go all the way down to the 25-yard line. So a 43-yard punt for Carter Smith. And the first such punt by the Tornadoes in the football game. All right, Lakewood back to it.
I was going to say that punt was as non-returnable as a plastic pop bottle, but I don't think anybody even knows what a return on a pop bottle. That went out of style about 50 years ago.
I got to be honest, Coach. That's just a vague memory for me. So what's that?
Like phone booths.
That's it. Phone booth. That's where they put the dime in that thing, and they stood on the corners, and you opened that door, and a light came on, and you put your money in there. I remember those.
You mean your phone is nailed to the wall? Yeah. Yes, kids, it was.
28-0, West Muskingum over Lakewood. In motion goes Jamar White. He turns the corner on the left side and is thrown down. Nice job defensively by the Tornadoes, Carter Smith.
Great tackle.
And no gain on the play. Boy, he's had a tough night, Coach. 8 carries for 12 yards. You know, you've said all along the defense is way ahead of the offense tonight for West Muskingum. I mean, that's just good assignment football by Carter Smith. Recognizing the play and then finding the ball.
You know, Bill Nutt, the former coach at New Lex, and I had a discussion about defense one time, and he told me that we're taking every big kid we have off the defense. We're going to put 11 kids on the field that can run, and that's what West M's defense looks like. It looks like 11 kids out there that can all run. I don't see anybody's belly hanging over their belt. I don't see any giant kids out there. May just all football, and I know that's the last years I coached defense. Our defense went that way too, and now with the spread offense being the dominant force in high school football, the defensive tackles they've become extinct.
Right,
they're like fullbacks.
Right,
there's no place for them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what you're right about West Muskingum, they have a lot of athletes, guys that, as you talk about, Coach, they're just built well. Not the, as you say, the 300-pounders with the the belly hanging over and coming out on passing downs and just coming in on the goal line. I mean, these guys can run to the football.
Well, people a lot of times, football fans, when they hear about team speed, they strictly think offense. But team speed on defense is just as important. And right now, I don't see anybody on Lakewood that can run away from the kids in blue.
So second down and 13 for Lakewood. That's White in motion. Hardway on the keeper. Oh, nice tackle again by West. That is Dante Tyson coming in.
Well, Dante, you made your defensive coordinator look really smart on that one, because they had a blitz up the middle and they got picked up, and there was no one else out there except him, and he made a great tackle.
Well, a loss of a couple that time by Garrett Hardway.
You're a defensive coach. Your IQ goes way up when your kids make a play like that.
And people actually think you know something.
Oh, baby.
3rd down and a lot, about 14. West Muskingum single coverage. They are pressing the wide receivers. Back to passes Hardway. Here comes the blitz, and down goes Hardway. That is a corner blitz by Cohen McConnell. What a great call, Coach.
Man. I like the cards that are being dealt by the West Muskingum defensive coordinator. That's some very creative blitzes, good coverages. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to it. I mean, Cohen McConnell there with the press coverage on the slot receiver. The assumption is, hey, he's going to check him, and boom, off he went. There's the punt.
Wow.
Evans will field. No, he fumbles the football, falls on it, so it will be at the 43-yard line for the Tornadoes of West Muskingum.
I think West Muskingum has played the entire game at midfield.
Yeah.
They've had great field position.
We are scoreless in the second half. West Muskingum led in the first half 28-0, and they are trying to put something together here in the second half, down to 6:25 here clockwise in the third quarter, but great field position. West has taken some shots too, Coach, down the field with Tavin Bennett. Yeah. I'm thinking, you maybe look at somebody else to take that shot down the field just because Lakewood's aware of Bennett. Maybe a Carter Smith who's got one-on-one coverage. Top of the helmet by Bragg. He will be the quarterback
nice
keeper.
Cut.
And keeps running, spins, gets the first down, steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line, good for 16.
Well, that time in the first half, I talked about how tight the Lancer defense was to the line of scrimmage. They're not tight anymore. They had 3 guys on the line of scrimmage, and everybody else has backed off. Linebackers and defensive backs there. They're playing really far off the ball. And that's pretty easy to run against. You don't have much resistance up there. Look where the linebackers are. The linebackers are 5 or 6 yards deep.
Right. Yeah.
They're cheating up a little bit now. They're in a blitz.
Yeah, West Muskingum, they're in trouble, but Bragg escapes the rush and gets fortunate, pick up 3 yards. So Lakewood that time sends a lot of guys, and Bragg does well to get positive yardage.
We've talked about their inexperience. That was a play that an experienced quarterback makes. Pressure's coming in. Don't force the ball downfield. Tuck it and get what you can. And they got, a couple of yards, but they didn't have a sack and didn't have an interception.
Smith and Bennett on the wide side of the field. Bragg in the shotgun. Back to pass. Looks, will keep it. Sprints to the 25, to
Good
the
block
20,
downfield.
to the 15. Knocked out of bounds. First and goal inside the 7-yard line.
I tell you what, put a sticker on the helmet for number 20. What a block.
Ashton Ansel, the tight end.
Yeah,
all right.
I tell you what, nice
Extra
block.
lunch for him this week right there. You can see Ansel staying with the block, Coach. Yeah, that's going to make somebody really happy.
Their linebackers are cheating up before the snap, and they blitz into a gap, and they're getting picked up. And so if you get past the contain man, there's nobody for pursuit. The linebackers already committed themselves. Great play by Brown Rigg. Great block down the field.
First and
Get up in
goal.
there. Get up in there.
Oh, penalty.
Oh, man.
That touchdown run is
Not
coming
a flag.
back. That's Dante Tyson. That's most likely going to be something on the offense. Holding
Yes.
against West
Dante
Muskingum.
looked to me like he was a geometry major on that one, Howard. The closest distance between 2 points was a straight line. He had a great blocking in there.
Yeah.
Somebody got caught for holding.
Yeah. West Muskingum commits, unfortunately, their 8th penalty of the game for 85 yards. And take away the touchdown for Dante.
So this is 1st and goal.
Now it's 1st and goal from the 17-yard line. Bragg, same formation, 2 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. It's Tyson again.
Get up
Boy,
in
he's
there,
got
Dante.
wheels, Coach. He's
Touchdown.
got wheels. That young man's got wheels. That's a great run right there.
I tell you
We'll
what,
catch this on the replay.
I think they have a, he's in the
Watch
game
him
because
sprint.
Evans had a leg cramp, and so they kept him out this series. All he did was score 2 touchdowns and 2 carries, and one of them finally counted.
So Dante Tyson, if I'm not mistaken, he's a sophomore. Yes, sir. He's a sophomore. 17-yard run.
Dante wants the football. I like that.
Yeah. Extra point coming for Silas Kuhn. Kick on the way. Mr. Automatic makes it 35-0.
So when does the running clock start? At 30 or
35. We'll be on a running clock
okay?
here as soon as Lakewood gets the football. But, West, now that drive, I mean, it wasn't a length of the field, Coach. I think 45 yards, but it was efficient. And I think that's what
Yes, it
Coach
was.
Brownrigg will feel good about that one.
Yes.
So, hey, guys, yeah, we made a holding penalty on the 2-yard line, which cost us a touchdown, but we bounced back.
Yeah. Well, usually most teams, they don't stay sharp with a 28-point lead
Right.
in the second half. They get a little sloppy, but that time you're right, Howard. That's the best they looked all night.
Yeah. So West Muskingum now comfortable position. They are on top 35-0. Lakewood will get the football back. Silas Kuhn going to boot it away. And we begin Lakewood with a drive at the ball fielded at the 3, up to the 15 to the left side. Breaks a couple tackles. Good run going. Best return of the night for Lakewood.
Yes, it is.
They will have it at their own, I'd say probably 35-yard line.
Whoever had contained on the sideline lost it. Let that guy slip out for a nice return. That might be. Is that the best field position they've had tonight?
I think
almost.
so.
I mean,
yeah, I think so. Now the clock should be moving at 35
referees
to
are telling him,
nothing.
running clock.
Yeah. So for Lakewood, I think you want to score, but you also want to get some other kids in to see what you've got. Maybe here and there, mix and match.
That's the only thing I don't like about the running clock rule. It eliminates your younger kids from getting to play.
Yeah. Hardway in trouble, being chased, still running, and then knocked out of bounds by Amari Harris. Some help also defensively for the Tornadoes. Another good pursuit by Caden Love.
A little better angle. Take a better angle. Keep that guy in the pocket.
11 carries, 12 yards for Hardway. Just 27 yards of rushing tonight for Lakewood unofficially, of course.
I think we're going to see a backup quarterback. We have 2 kids warming up down there.
Yeah, for the Tornadoes. Hardway back to pass.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's a
backward
lateral
pass. Yep. And then stopped is the running back White, stopped by Carter Smith. So that will lose a couple.
Lost it to the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 11.
And the clock continues to move down to 2 minutes. And 3rd down and 11 for the Lakewood Lancers. 35-0 West Muskingum in the season opener for both teams. Hardway,
blitz coming.
Back to pass. He's in trouble again. Breaks contain. He's got a good run going all across midfield down to the West 47-yard line. That is their best run of the night for 17 yards.
Well, Caden Love went to the inside from his defensive end spot.
You can see
and
him
both
in a good
linebackers
block
are blitzing,
downfield.
and there's no one there
and
to stop him.
He escapes a couple of guys. Ooh. Now they are in West Muskingum territory, something they have not been very much in. That's 1st and 10 for Lakewood. Clock moves under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Lakewood 4 wide receivers. 4-man West front. Hardway, quarterback keeper. And he is stuffed. Another nice defensive tackle that time by Ashton Ansel for the Tornadoes. And make it 2nd down and 6 for Lakewood. Now, defensively for the Tornadoes, I'm sure the coaches have said, guys, we can't let up now. You made that point a couple of minutes ago. A lot of times teams will psychologically let down.
That's right.
You know, they've got to remind these guys, hey, you know, stay focused.
This is where an experienced team steps on your throat, where an inexperienced team relaxes.
2nd down, Hardway, deep drop and roll, and he spins away, has another 1st down. Gang tackled by the Tornadoes, but not before he gets 7 yards on the 1st down. And that will end the third quarter. That will give us a chance to go over our great list of sponsors. The Community Bank, now's the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Fink's Harley-Davidson, the Live to Ride, Ride to Live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs, quick as a wink. Deal with Fink and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. Foxfire Schools, which is free, a public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. Levy's Zanesville Flooring Store is your leader. Ziegler Tire, where they focus on building strong customer relationships and provide the highest quality of workmanship on each and every automotive and tire repair. Muskingum Valley Health Centers, the MVHC, where healthcare is made easy, and they are also the Player of the Game sponsor. Instant replays tonight brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union and South 650 Films, the official streaming partner of the West Muskingum Tornadoes. You know, Coach, we have to come up with a Player of the Game. You know, I got to start thinking. There's a lot of guys who could lead the pack. I'm not sure. We got to think about that one.
Well, I think what the fans would be even more impressed with was they knew you had all that stuff memorized. You just were, you know. I mean, that's impressive, Howard. Here we go.
1st down, Lakewood. Deep drop for Hardway. He's in trouble. He escapes the rush. He cuts to the middle of the field and then is dragged down, but another 7-yard run for Hardway. He has 15 carries for 45 yards. Doesn't sound like a lot, but at one point, I think at halftime, he had maybe 10. I mean, he's had a pretty good second half.
He's a decent quarterback. I mean, he throws the ball well. He just hasn't had much time to do it.
2nd down and 4 for the Lancers. West Muskingum trying to get a stop, preserve the shutout. They are on top, 35-0, 4th quarter, 11:10 to go. Hardway rolls to his right, pitches to White. Jamar White has enough for the 1st down.
That's a well-designed play.
That is Jalen White on the carry, and another 1st down for Lakewood.
You know, that's got to be a variation of the run-pass option. Coach, it looks like the quarterback's going to throw it, and he just tosses it to his trailing back.
And, you know, I think 2 or 3 series ago, Lakewood was in this point of the field, and they threw the pick to David Evans.
Early in the game.
Yeah. First and 10 for the Lancers. And they are on the West 23-yard line. Hardway rolls to his left. Got a man underthrown. Good coverage that time by Tavin Bennett. It was intended for Chenault.
Good coverage, good pass rush. That makes it tough on the quarterback if you have a guy in your face and the coverage is that tight.
5 of 10 for 18 yards for Hardway. So defensive secondary doing the job tonight for the Tornadoes. Second down and 10. Hardway in the shotgun. Back to pass. Under pressure. Down he goes.
Oh.
That's another sack. And
I tell you who that is.
That is Dante Tyson.
Yes, it is.
I'll tell you what. Mr. Tyson,
You're going to
he looks like Mike Tyson out there.
You're going to have a hard time keeping him off the field, Coach.
Yeah. So he gets free lunch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Watch this. You watch him just come out of nowhere.
Well,
just,
you can take a young kid with speed like that and put him in a position to rush the quarterback, and they're tough to block. I mean, it's the Lawrence Taylor syndrome.
Right.
You get a great athlete on the outside that can rush against a tackle. It's tough for an offensive tackle. Under center.
Yeah, 3rd and 18. Back to pass again is Hardware. He's in trouble again. Escapes, still on his feet. Nice tackle that time in the open area for the Tornadoes. Is that Cooper or McConnell? Cohen McConnell?
Like number, is that 11?
Yep. That is, in fact, no, that's Cade Porter on the tackle. And then coming off the field, possibly injured, is Caden Love. He's limping off with an ankle. 4th down and 18 for Lakewood. They will, I'm sure, go for it here with 8:15 to go in the running clock. 35-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. So West Muskingum trying to preserve the shutout here. Hardway, back to pass, and well overthrown. Not anybody in the area. Great coverage that time by
I don't think either
Bennett
receiver
and Taven
was aware
Haynes.
the ball was coming.
Yep.
One was deep and wide open. He didn't even look. Number one, it wasn't even close to him. So
Taven Bennett on the coverage that time. So West Muskingum back on offense. We shall see if Mr. Brownrigg's offensive night is done. And I believe it is, because who do we have coming in at quarterback? We have Noah Morrison, a sophomore, coming in. So West Muskingum, I'm sure, will be substituting, Coach.
Yep.
Most of the second teamers. So Noah Morrison, the sophomore, we remember him from basketball. He will be in the shotgun with his first taste. And he will give on the handoff, and that is Dante Tyson. Tyson just keeps running the ball.
Dante.
Dante with 21 right there.
I'll tell you what, I'm all for the young quarterback having some experience, but I'd hand the ball to Dante every time right now. I like that kid.
You'd probably give him a ride home, wouldn't you? Like,
Man, I'm
hey, I
telling
don't know
you.
where you live, kid, but I'll give you a ride. Yeah, he's a good-looking sophomore for West Muskingum. And you are right. He will push some people for playing time. That's what it's about.
One of my former players at Crooksville was on this coaching staff, Jeremy Ketchum, and he's coached here. He was the head coach here for a while. He coached at Crooksville, I believe. I mean, he's been all over the place. He's an excellent offensive mind. He's a great kid to coach, and he wasn't very happy with the referees. I'm sure he never saw me unhappy with the referees, so I'm not going to take any credit for that.
So they say. The rumor mill has it, Coach.
Well, I can.
You can't escape the past. It follows you. All right, 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes in Lakewood territory. Noah Morrison in the shotgun. He will pass.
Nice
has
throw.
A completion And that is good for the first down. Nice catch and run. Good job that time. That is Grady Dowlings with his first catch of the season.
West Ham has some athletes, Howard.
Yes, they do.
I mean, they have some athletes on this team. They can run.
Noah Morrison has a 12-yard complete, make it 13 to Grady Dowlings.
Well, Dante's checking his chin straps. I think he's going to get the ball this time.
He's in the backfield with Morrison in the shotgun. Two wide receivers on the wide side of the field. And that is Dante Tyson straight up the middle. Keeps it going, keeps running, gang tackled, keeps his feet moving down to the 15-yard line. You know what, Coach? That's just a real easy 13 yards. It just looked like, it's an off-tackle play for 2 yards.
Yep.
Boom, 13. We like this kid.
Well, you know, Coach Brunrig talked to me before the game about who's going to be our leaders, who's going to emerge, and you just never know when a kid's going to do that. And Dante is making a real case to hand him the football.
1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. Morrison rolls to his right. Got a man. In and out of the hands of the intended receivers at Ashton Ansel. Yeah, intended for Ansel, one of the tight ends.
Well, we got a flag.
Make it 2nd down. Man, we haven't seen one in a while.
What?
Ineligible downfield. That's the 2nd time we've seen that penalty tonight.
I don't think that's the penalty.
Well, we're going to get it
I think they
sorted
might
out.
have had 12 guys on the field.
12 guys, okay. So Lakewood gets charged with a penalty.
Yeah, the old 6-4-2 defense. It's really popular in Toronto.
Hey, you know what? It's worth a try.
You bet.
1st down and
we're in Dante country here.
5 for the Tornadoes. Clock at 4 minutes to go.
Yep.
Tyson up the middle, scoots inside the 5. This is coming back by way of a hold. Tyson gets about 6, but the 10 yards will knock it back. And the penalties for West Muskingum continue to mount up. That is their 9th for 95 yards. But again, it's first game. You got to expect some things. So make it 2nd down. They can get a 1st down inside the 5-yard line. That's Morrison in the shotgun. He will fake the handoff and keep it himself. He's going to score. Noah Morrison's going to run for the touchdown of 18 yards.
I think if you're first team on West Muskingum's offense, you better keep playing well because there's some kids behind you that they want on the field.
Yeah. That is a nice run that time by Noah Morrison. 18 yards in the score. And Silas Kuhn set to boot it up for point number 42 for the Tornadoes. Got a nice leg, Coach. I'll tell you what, I don't know what his field goal range is, but just looking at the length he has and the distance and the height, I think he's a pretty good field goal kicker.
The other thing that's impressive about Silas' kicking tonight is the snaps haven't been, bang snaps. They've been kind of low, sometimes a little bit high, and once that snapper gets that thing down a little better, as automatic as he is now, man.
Yeah. All right, so 42-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. And, Coach, we still have to think about that player of the game. I think I got a guy in mind. I don't know what you're thinking. We'll have a secret ballot here. And,
Boy, hope it's not a tie.
Yeah, because we can't have co-players of the game.
Yeah. If it's a tie, one of us has to jump off the edge of the press box here.
Man, what, you mean we're going to wrestle for whoever wins the tie for player of the game? All right, there's the kickoff by Kuhn. It's another good one. Fumble. And Tornadoes on special teams. Great job, and defensively making the tackle with 3 or 4 guys. Initially stopped by Hayden Wakefield. So with 2 minutes to go, or 2 minutes and a couple of seconds to go, the Tornadoes will hope for one more defensive stand and get out of here with a shutout.
Well, the other thing has been impressive for me is the kickoff coverage. I mean, they're inside the 20 2 or 3 times tonight. I mean, that's tremendous coverage.
Yeah, again, we've talked about Silas Kuhn. At the high school level, where kicking's not certainly what it is at the collegiate or the professional level, if you've got a kicker at the high school level, you've really got an extra guy.
Yes, you do.
That's
a weapon.
Team. So the clock moves, and they give up the middle for Lakewood. Not much running room there. Gain of a couple. And clock moves down to 1:35.
Brought down by Ashton Ansel. At the conclusion of the game, they ask you to clean up your area around you with all trash.
Neither team in a hurry to take a timeout. Make it 2nd down and 8. For Lakewood. And they will go straight ahead. West Muskingum, mostly second teamers on the field. Another nice defensive play by West Muskingum. Clock now under a minute to go. Tornadoes are going to open the season with victory number 1.
Well, here's what I'm noticing, Howard, is a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties, but it's still the same hard-nosed football that Nate Brownrigg has brought here.
Yeah.
I mean, they still hit, they run to the football, they're playing hard. So it's the same formula. It's just they just have to refine it.
Yeah, when you look at some of the guys, and Coach Brownrigg talked about this in the pregame, we've got some guys who are coming along without a lot of experience running play to the right. Another nice defensive tape by
That's
Dante
right.
Tyson. But a lot of guys who are coming along, and you can see guys hungry tonight for playing time for the Tornadoes.
Oh, you bet.
And I believe, my friends, that's going to do it. The Tornadoes are going to get out of here at Whirlwind Stadium with the final score 42-0. Opening win tonight for West Muskingum. And despite the early season mistakes, game 1 mistakes, West Muskingum did what they came in to do, which is win the football game. Nobody gets hurt. Let's learn from our mistakes. For that, congratulations.
Yep, you bet.
All right, well, we will have some post-game coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But before we get into that, let's go over some final scoring. West Muskingum with the 42-0 shutout. They opened the scoring tonight with a opening kickoff by Carter Smith, a return of 98 yards, and that got the machine rolling. Braxton Bragg had an 82-yard run with Silas Kuhn's extra point for the second time. That made it 14-0. And then David Evans on a 3-yard run. Kuhn's extra point made it 21-0. Braxton Bragg hit wide receiver Tavin Bennett for 23 yards. And Silas Kuhn had the extra point. Dante Tyson then later had a 17-yard run. Silas Kuhn on the extra point. And then Noah Morrison, backup quarterback to Braxton Brownrigg, on an 18-yard run late in the game, sealed the deal 42-0 to West Muskingum and the shutout victory in Game 1. So lots of guys with action tonight, Coach. West Muskingum able to play a lot of second-teamers. They got the shutout. They did the things they had to do.
Well, they did. We talked about their defense all night. It was really sharp. They ran to the football. They made great tackles. And they also scored 42 points with a quarterback starting his first time in the position as a senior. So all in all, it was an impressive night for the Tornadoes. A lot of things to work on, but they don't have to work on their intensity. It's there.
Yes, absolutely. Sign of a well-coached team, well put-together team, guys in the right spot, defensively especially with the assignment football. I mean, I saw some mistakes, Coach, that were mental mistakes with the penalties, but I didn't see a lot of mistakes for effort where guys weren't giving 100% or weren't where they were supposed to be. I think the coaches can live with the mental mistakes because of Game 1 and the penalties, but I think they're going to be very happy that, hey, guys, we did what you were coached to do.
Yep. They can you can correct the penalty situation. You can look at film and show the kids, if this hand goes here, it's a penalty. These guys called it pretty close tonight as a referee squad, and that's probably good. As much of a pain in the butt as it is to get a holding penalty, point those mistakes out early in the season, and you can correct those. So I'm sure that their line coach will go through that with their kids, and that'll be corrected.
You mentioned a couple of coaches. We'll get to it in a couple of minutes. Let's take a look at some highlights. First for West Muskingum's on a sack, and then Braxton Bragg to the end zone for Tavin Bennett. Out jumps the defender for the touchdown. And then later it's Dante Tyson breaking a couple of tackles and getting into the end zone. Another one of those subs that we talked about. And then it's Noah Morrison late in the second half, and he goes in for the score. So for the Tornadoes, we need to talk about player of the game, Coach. All right. I think some guys nominated. Dante Tyson in a late role. I thought Carter Smith played very well on both sides of the football. Amari Harris, I thought, played well. I thought Caden Love played well. Tavin Bennett, obviously. A lot of guys, I think, did a nice job tonight. But I think the guy who made it go tonight, both running and throwing, is Braxton Brownrigg.
I have to agree with you. His first start, he led the team to a victory. Despite all the mistakes and penalties, he didn't lose his head. I mean, he stayed calm. He threw the ball where it needed to be. He ran the ball well, and he was the leader on the field. And I think that's what his role this year is going to be. He's got to be that leader that the kids can look to, and I think he's definitely the player of the game.
His numbers: 7 carries for 142 yards, 6 of 10 passing for 47, no picks. So that's nearly 200 yards of total offense for Brownrigg. I thought the leadership, the big run to get the game going with the 82-yard scamper down the field, I thought for his first start, as you mentioned, Coach,
you bet.
Nice job.
And we talked about mistakes, but he didn't have any. I mean, he
Right.
played mistake-free. He handled a bad snap one time and recovered that thing and picked up a yard or two with that. So he did a nice job in controlling the game. So despite all the penalties, I didn't see him panic. I didn't see him lose his head, and he executed his assignments.
Well, take a look at some final numbers for West Muskingum unofficially, of course. Brownrigg, as we mentioned, 142 yards on the ground. David Evans, 7 carries for 38. Dante Tyson, 4 carries for 57. Carter Smith had 6 carries for 15. Amari Harris had a carry for 2. And Noah Morrison had a late run for 18 and a touchdown. Passing, Braxton, as we mentioned, 6 of 10 for 47. Noah Morrison in relief, 1 of 2 for 13 yards. Receiving, Carter Smith, a couple for 12 yards. Tavin Bennett, a couple, including a touchdown. Cade Porter had a catch for 13. Ashton Ansel had a catch for 5. Grady Dollings had a catch for 13. So the wealth spread around for the Tornadoes on the offensive end. So for Lakewood, not a lot offensively. They would end up with 57 yards on the ground, and through the air for the Lancers, not much better, as they had just 18 yards passing, including an interception.
Well, Lakewood had yardage early in the game in that one drive. They ended with an interception, at the 2, and then at the end of the game. Other than that, they didn't make many yards any time. They didn't sustain any drives whatsoever. Very few first downs. The Tornado defense dominated the line of scrimmage, dominated the game.
West punted one time for 43 yards. That's Carter Smith. Lakewood 5 times for 108 yards. Lakewood 8 penalties for 52. 9 penalties for the Tornadoes for 95 yards. That's something that Coach Bronwig, I'm sure, will address in films. So Coach, we finalize here the game, 42-0 in favor of the Tornadoes. Your overall thoughts after one game?
You got to clean up some mistakes. You got to continue playing. Defense has to play extremely well. The offense has to become consistent. They have the ability to throw it. They have the ability to run it. They have to eliminate the penalties. They eliminate penalties, and there's 60 points on that scoreboard, not 42. So I think that's the big thing coming up with the Fort Fry game. Clean up the offense, be consistent, eliminate the mistakes.
That's going to do it from West Muskingum. We thank you so much. We hope you'll stay with South 60 every week as we bring football to the area. The MVL is our passion. We enjoy it, and we hope to bring you the best games possible every week. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to Coach Doug Clifford. We will talk to you again. Congratulations, West, 42-0. Take care, everyone.